All right. We are off and going. All right. Nodes are slowly going up here. Fighting over the train station today. Train station, one of those fun points here on Carentan. It's not quite as crazy as Town Center, but not as difficult, we'll put it, as Canal Crossing can be. One of the more difficult things is a lot of the fighting's going to want to be happening just north in the town area, but unfortunately that's not a soft cap area, so we've got everything pretty much down here from the mansion complex that I like to call it. If you're on my team, everybody thinks I just call everything mansion complex. So this is mansion complex, as you'll probably hear me throughout the course of the stream. I'll be using mansion complex to call out for that. That's going to be a key element and key area that we're going to want to see some people holding up. Also trying to control where these roads are coming in. If G.O.A.T can get up here and hold this intersection right here, it's actually going to prevent a lot of problems coming in from the north, because then they're going to be facing everything kind of in the front of them. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out moving forward. But we're looking at, we've got a medium coming out of the middle already. Got a couple supply truck. Got the Lux on the top. Okay, it looks like we're missing one fuel node. No doubt they're going to get that all taken care of and figured out here. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got going here on the other side while we wait for this last few seconds to tick away before we look to see if there are any snipes going on here. Alright, so on the ally side, got people down here to the south. Transport truck. Okay. Got this Stewie coming out of that main road down there in the middle. So let's go ahead and fly on over here to train station. Try to capture any snipes that might be coming from either side, as they might have prepared some welcome packages for opposing team members. Allied supplies are dropping around the area of the intersection just to our left. Okay, we've got trucks starting to roll in here for the Allied team. So far, no snipes coming across. Okay, the S.A.P truck and the G.O.A.T truck are on a collision course here. No snipes still. We do have... Oh, and this, it looks like we got the Stewie here, or the Greyhound here on the south side, that did take out a good portion of that northern truck coming in. The G.O.A.T southern truck does appear to have stayed up though, so that's going to be their key to getting into hard cap. But that northern truck from that Greyhound was a big hit. S.A.P flooding in on the east side, but more G.O.A.T bodies appear to be coming in on the east. So as of right now, if G.O.A.T can push in, get those bodies in there, they should be able to tilt that cap pressure moving forward. Okay, Stewart's coming into hard cap here for the ally side. Pando takes out Loki. Good shooting there. So cap weight, as of right now, we only have Pando that was in the hard cap. Unfortunately, he is no longer there. Danny has been able to sneak their way into the hard cap, but are fighting off 3 S.A.P defenders that are also carrying that cap progress. So as of right now, Danny finds themselves in the crossfire of 3 guys, and Chris also gets knocked down. So as with that, S.A.P now has full control over the hard cap with a spawn wave coming off the back. but it appears that a Steward did take out that entire spawn wave. Did it get the OP with it? It did. So with that, G.O.A.T is going to be in dire straits here right off the rip, with Pando's OP just getting taken out as well by the S.A.P. allied defenders there. Sergeant T-Bone coming around the backside, or S.A.P. T-Bone coming off the backside. So this initial cap appears to be going to be heading the way of S.A.P. here. We've got the looks being hit from in front. Looks like the Stewie and the Lux are going at it. That is a battle set for Dridlock right there. Gridlock, that's the word I'm looking for. Gridlock, as they will not be able to do much to each other's fronts. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look and see how many G.O.A.T defenders are able to get their OPs back up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 right off the rip. Okay, let's see how many are able to get them back down. As of right now, no OPs have been put up. That's something that is going to be key to being able to help them hold their position, because S.A.P. now has taken up this entire section here, and no OPs have been set up. So if anybody dies, with the exception of B and T Squad now, if anybody dies, they're going to be forced all the way back to garrisons here. Most likely those OPs did get burned, though, through the course of that capture, and so they might be waiting on spawn timers to get that back up and going. So with the initial mid-cap here, we can see the S.A.P. is starting to get that spread, with G.O.A.T kind of being sucked right down the middle area. We're going to zoom out here and see what we can see a little bit more on the south side. So as we talk about Mansion Complex, we do have a couple G.O.A.T players that are trying to get control of it. And they do take out an S.A.P. defender, Polisar Poe, and Pezotic. Bundin facing off against Sabbath. They do have a good push with Angel coming in as well as OP spawn. Angel does get taken out, most likely by Avansky there on the south, on the northern side. Sabbath taken out Bundin, leaving Zalva here all by themselves. And S.A.P. is just closing in on those spawn points. And so with that, G.O.A.T is going to be wiped off the backside here. Yep, there goes that OP there. Unfortunate loss. They're going to want to keep trying to push back into there with Mount Hileas being that 4th point. They'll be able to do so and not risk so much that back pressure onto a 4th point if it was up here on a derailed train. But G.O.A.T's starting to settle in here when it comes to the houses on that eastern flank. But S.A.P. is just coming in and kind of bullying them a little bit here. G.O.A.T was able to get a 3rd garrison up here right on the line, so that's good planning on their side to be able to fit that garrison in right between the 2 points there. Lively skating here on their own. Getting a corner, does get out Pila, so that's some good shooting there for Lively to be able to poke that corner and just secure the intersection for G.O.A.T to be able to advance up. It's going to be key that his SL does get up here, though, and gets an OP as soon as possible just to be able to reinforce and hold that ground. We do have the S.A.P. medium tank coming up here on the backside. Captained by Lucas here. There's no G.O.A.T armor, it appears, on the southern side, so as of right now, they're going to be able to move around pretty unmolested. No AT here in the area with the exception of Esquivel. And again, as a matter of disclosure, I do not speak Spanish, and so I apologize ahead of time here for G.O.A.T because I'm probably going to be butchering a lot of names, and I do apologize for that. I'll give it my best go, but at the end of the day, the names aren't always as friendly to me, and so I apologize that I will butcher them. But hopefully it's taken and not done from the perspective of, or just done from a perspective of, love. That you guys invited me back here to be able to stream another match here for you. All right, so we're starting to see some G.O.A.T pressure being held into the eastern side here of train station. We've got a good line of OPs that have been set up to reinforce that line so they do not push back farther than that. S.A.P. is still very much in control of hard cap and to the south to that factory complex. But G.O.A.T doing a good job preventing S.A.P. from coming in and getting things holed up in their lines. They're closing up those gaps and really preventing them from being able to push too far. Sergeant Bundon has his hands full up here. It's a good thing for him that he probably cannot count the number of people around him. So for those of us, as we review this later in match discussions, this will help him know how much he really is by himself. But he is holding his own with Cosmos slowly trying to creep in here on his backside. But Bundon just holding on for dear life, probably waiting for that OP timer to be able to reset so he can get his squad back up there and help him out. S.A.P. starting to establish along the southern side, though. G.O.A.T is starting to be able to make some pressure here with this recon squad, but they're going to need to get some help from any other southern squads, as they have now been wiped out by Polisar Poe. Well, it looks like S.A.P. artillery is starting to land here on the eastern side, where G.O.A.T has been able to set up a lot of their OPs. But we've got Elko here that's just searching around for this garrison, and he is making alarm just all by himself right back in here, but it does not appear that he's been able to find that location yet, as it is just across the road. Morpheo holding his own, and it looks like we do see the transport truck. Okay, so initial G.O.A.T transport truck has now gone up, with the Panzer IV slowly making their way back here to try to put pressure onto this medium. Oh, they did take out the medium. Okay, never mind, scratch that. So that is a good play from G.O.A.T being able to eliminate that push to be able to try to hold back S.A.P. I'll mute that other stream so you don't hear it. All right, but G.O.A.T definitely is getting a good handle here on the northern side. So their best bet is going to be trying to push back up in through this area. As of right now, it does not appear that S.A.P. has any presence actually in the town center alleyways. So that could very well be an opening that G.O.A.T can manipulate to try to get themselves back into this. Let's take a look at how things are shaping up here on the S.A.P. side. We do see another Stuart running across. Looks like they're going to be using that a lot to their advantage, as that Stuart is a nimble little thing with a lot of good firepower on the front of it. So they own very much the top railroad track here of train station, and forming a decent line here from the north to the south all the way down to Mansion Complex. So they've got very good sector control that are going, which is leaving G.O.A.T to really be on their back foot as they're trying to force their way off of this point. Looking over here, we're just going to take a quick look at the Tiger tank that they've been able to get on back up. So it looks like I incorrectly identified that earlier, so I do apologize. G.O.A.T able to have a Tiger tank out with another medium tank here floating up the backside. Lively defending his bush, not making sure that nobody else has the ability to take over his bush. Holding off the stem of S.A.P. that's wanting to try to get from the south. Now, from this perspective, S.A.P. does have some difficulty. While it is open fields and it is fortuitous for them to be able to hold that, it makes it really difficult because they have very much they only have a few different lines of sight that they can use to be able to get up into Mount Hileas. As we see an ammo drop come in here for the S.A.P. side, and rockets being fired up, trying to take care of any OPs or other items that may be up the hedge line. Oh, but that is a good shell right there. Unaware. Okay, it looks like Artie. Artie is starting to land in. I was thinking it was Artie, but wasn't 100% sure if a tank had gotten eyes on there. So G.O.A.T reestablishing. Getting good pushback in here down to the south. They are still very concentrated when it comes to the eastern side of that hard cap, but they are starting to get some ground towards the south here with Sergeant Danny, who slowly is making up their way onto Cyril 4. Danny getting shots off, takes a hit, but still going. Ah, perfect. And his squad mate here, Smoza, comes up and is able to take him out, leaving Danny the ability to heal up and control that southern flank even more. So good teamwork here for Smoza to come around that backside and help out Danny. All right, zooming on up here. Let's take a look and see how the goat push is coming out on this eastern side. So definitely have been able to move off the garrison. Garrison is no longer warm, but it does appear that it's being camped by enemy already, but not getting any kills at the moment. So that's good work for GOAT to be able to push off of that point, as Ellico is taken out by Lively after taking a little bit of room around here on this backside. Lively is able to secure that benefit for them. Gallo and De Cortez storming into the front of the point here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, we were going to go into Cortez, but Cortez ended up not having a good time there. Gallo here, though, is able to hold their own here. Let's give a nice double view here so we can see both the friendly side of GOAT as well as the enemy S.A.P side from Ryan holding up on this backside. Gallo taking out Keenslayer. Good on them with a GOAT bombing run that does come through. And it does eliminate a good amount of S.A.P defenders. So with this, if GOAT can get pushed up and Gallo can take out Ryan here, this is going to be a key little battle. We're going to focus on this here real fast, because if we can get GOAT bodies up into the point, it's going to help them immensely to be able to take this. As we see the Tiger tank moving up. Gallo is taken out from the back from Skeptic. Oh, does he see him though? Foxtrot is able to get him though. He would have had the satchel on there, so good on Foxtrot for being able to come back and help him out. All right, let's zoom back out here for a macro now that S.A.P is slowly getting back into things. So GOAT has lost this garrison here, so they're going to want to work to try to get that back. But S.A.P does have 2 tanks floating around the backside. Let's see what they're working with. Most likely a 76. But what is that 76 paired with? A Greyhound right there. Okay. So Greyhound appears to be holding the sight lines over the railroad tracks up here on the north side. But we have our first heavy on heavy battle here with this, with the S.A.P 76 being hit first. Oh, and a ricochet off of it from the Tiger, getting bundled up. Oh, but he's moving forward into it. Can they get a second hit? Oh, S.A.P getting the hit and taking out the GOAT heavy. Good shooting, good first battle of heavies. And with that garrison being eliminated, S.A.P has been able to push through completely and taken over those eastern houses. And GOAT is now left with a giant hole here in the middle that they're going to need to work off of getting people to. Sergeant Handsome able to make a lot of ground here along this hedgerow. With S.A.P Bueno here, we do have an allied bombing run that's going to be coming in over point. And that does appear to be in the line to get that garrison right by Sergeant Foster. It has been taken out, but they did luckily get a spawn wave off of it. GOAT does have some supplies to the south, so they might be able to get something back up. But with that, S.A.P Handsome has popped in and is looking to push back up as Sergeant Foster does get that garrison back up. Handsome takes out Danny. No doubt Handsome is licking his chops right now, but oh no, Quincho and Foster do not know that he is behind it. Handsome taking out the garrison and just giving a nice tap to the backside of Foster. Paradin Salsa appears to have just be ripping back here behind it. I haven't seen a satchel on here. It looks like this GOAT tank might be all right, but they are getting pushed out of the point. GOAT is in a very difficult situation right now, needing to clear out Handsome and Golov. Let's see if Edmund, though, can come in and help him out as he works around the hedge, playing in hard mode, wearing his snow camos. Good for him. As Handsome takes out Samoza. No doubt Edmund had to have heard that. Edmund, unfortunately, running the wrong direction from Handsome, who's still alive here on the hard cap. Oh, and Handsome is able to take the advantage on Edmund, who still is playing on hard. Hopefully his squad mates tell him about his snow camos. Fortunately, they don't work too well to hygiene against the buildings up here on the northern side. But G.O.A.T slowly just getting pushed back, as we do see a G.O.A.T supply truck coming up just to try to salvage, trying to get any type of garrison that they can back up here on the point. They are pushing in from the south, and with any luck, we'll be able to gain a little bit of a foothold, as S.A.P has had some difficulty getting officers up into the top portion here to be able to claim some cap weight for them and some spawn points. Golov still running around unmolested in the middle hard cap. G.O.A.T has been able to establish a garrison to the south, so that's going to be big for them as they try to hold this area. And it is, oh, I thought we had seen it right there. Let's see, where is it sitting? Right behind us here. Okay. So it's in a nice little protected area, so long as that 76 that's pushing up doesn't get a good look at it. It is protected by the little bit of barbed wire, so it would take a crack of a shot to be able to take it out if they do look to be able to find it. Golov, though, still just causing havoc here in the hard cap. No doubt a big thorn in the side of S.A.P here. Or, sorry, of G.O.A.T. Handsome seems to have continued to find his way up here on the on the far south boundary. Taking a look here, though, we've got a lot of G.O.A.T forces concentrated up here, trying to push along the northern edge and get some type of pressure on the train station, as Mount Hileus does start to flicker. And G.O.A.T has begun losing it. S.A.P, it looks like S.A.P was able to get the satchel onto here. That's going to be big here for 30 seconds, and that is only a two-man crew. Let's see if they are aware of that satchel being put on them, as they did take out the tank commander. Yep, we've got Shrivel here. Servo getting the satchel off. Luckily, Gadlov is taken out. So good teamwork here from G.O.A.T to be able to get back here and get that satchel off to try to preserve that medium. So very good on their part. Good teamwork, guys. Okay, cap pressure still coming in here, with G.O.A.T's only team spawn being here on the southern side. The 76 has been able to make its way up into the northern portion of hardcap, and it is getting called out here as we see the G.O.A.T players marking it with a move. But this 76 may have done himself in, but with the expert driving skills, he is able to back out of that. So that 76 is still going to be left up here by itself, with no other armor with the exception of that Panzer IV here on the southern side from G.O.A.T to try to take anything out. And with that, he does take out the garrison, so that's going to put G.O.A.T in a very difficult situation. This Panzer IV knows that this 76 is coming around. It's just backing up to save its life here. S.A.P continues to push and charge into hardcap here, but G.O.A.T is able to gain a little bit of weight to try to get that shifted back in their favor. Looks like G.O.A.T might be dealing with a couple different tanks here on their front door. Yep, here we go. So we have two 76s that are floating around here. That is not a good thing if you're G.O.A.T. They are working to get one out as he's scorpioned around 180 degrees, just retreating for his life here. It appears that push coming from G.O.A.T in the north is completely wiped out. That garrison is no longer there, leaving the closest garrison spawn here now on the south side of Mount Hileus. Pando just doing everything that he can to stay alive. Samoza as well. just trying to establish some OPs that may allow his team to be able to continue to flood into this point and gain a little bit of protection on this Mount Hileus point as they're dealing with the 276 tanks that SAP has been able to put up. Samosa does clear the back line here and does open up the way for G.O.A.T to be able to push in. Looks like they've gotten a major wave, spawn wave off of that, but SAP is going to start controlling the hard cap here very quickly. So with that, G.O.A.T's players that just came off of that garrison to the south need to continue pushing on in. Hardy assistance inbound. With rockets coming up from the backside here. That Panzer IV is no longer there, unfortunately. So now it is all just infantry. As we see a precision strike coming in from the G.O.A.T commander. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what he's looking at here. Fortunately, it looks like he may be backing out enough to be able to get away from that. Oh, but it was weakened just enough. That is a good precision strike and effective, taking out that damaged 76 on the backside, leaving SAP with 176 by its lonesome and no infantry support. Very smart move trying to pull back here. Great rocket from Cortez too, putting it right up the backside. Too bad he will get around the backside before Cortez is able to get that second rocket. But we do have a G.O.A.T bombing run coming in, and from the looks of it, it could be very, very effective. Taking out a couple, taking out 3. Good work. So G.O.A.T working their way back in here with this 76 being protected here on the backside. Kingslayer being taken down. Let's get a look kind of here from what G.O.A.T's looking at, trying to get an eye on this 76. Okay, the 76 has been able to continue to pull back, but G.O.A.T is making some good progress. They have now controlled the southern map edge, so very good response here from the G.O.A.T forces on controlling the south. Looks like cap weight is starting to come in from the north. That's where most of SAP, but with those gunfights that they're losing, G.O.A.T should hopefully start getting some cap progress back on here very quickly. Pando by his lonesome here. It looks like SAP was able to get spawn waves off OPs to the south, so that's going to continue to allow them to carry some cap pressure. G.O.A.T calling in some trying to call in for some arty. With the information the commander currently has, might just be a ping to throw up there and allow hopefully some hard cap pressure to be taken out, as there are currently no enemies there at the moment, but very well could be as we see these northern pushes coming in here. Point being contested. G.O.A.T has managed to be able to get enough forces back here. We're going to rotate around here a little bit because that wall is preventing me from being able to go too much higher on that. So zooming out, majority of the cap still in favor of SAP as they continue to flood bodies forward. Now's the time where we might start seeing a reinforce being put down from G.O.A.T as they are starting to get some bodies into the cap weight. Hopefully they can start getting some cap pressure back on there. Okay, there it goes. All right, reinforce has been placed by Foster, so G.O.A.T is gaining that cap weight back. Oh, but unfortunately, some key battles were lost right there at the very bottom there, which took away the ability of that reinforce. Morpho and Pando potentially the only people here that are able to contribute into that reinforce, with Pando being taken out. Morpheo trying to hold on for his life here in this little bombshell crater as that 76 looks to bunch up and lock him out from the south. So as we zoom up and get an overhead shot here, we can see G.O.A.T forces being pushed off of that garrison to the south. Really their only spawn, as no other OPs are really to the north side of the hard cap. Morpheo still able to stay alive, but unfortunately this appears the SAP is flooding into this point strong enough to prevent that cap pressure from being taken back. So it does appear that this is going to go back to SAP here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 5, 6, 7 OPs that were locked up in a hard cap, with one of them being, or in the soft cap sector, one of them being for recon, so it does stay up. And as of right now, no OPs have been going up. So if I was GOAT, that would be something that I'd want to go back as we're looking through game film and want to be able to speak with my officers about making sure the outposts, even if they are going to be timed out and taken out by a sector loss such as that, officers will want to be looking around here to try to make sure that they are in the area to pick up their OP so they can be immediately put back down. Because essentially now, any room that they had along this sector right here has been wiped. And they're going to be forced to come all the way back here to this garrison here on this backside. Alright, so we have the GOAT Tiger tank here slowly moving up on this 76. 76 moving right into their line of fire though. Let's see if we can get an idea of when, right when this 76 peeks out around here for GOAT. Kind of give you an idea of what they're looking at here, as they're kind of just not able to see a whole lot of things through that smoke. But right there, the 76 does pop out. But the Tiger has currently the first hit. But the Tiger is in a very difficult situation as it cannot retreat out of there. With that 76 getting that first hit on it, it is able to back out. With S.A.P. Handsome being on the backside, they're in a position right now where this GOAT Tiger tank might be in a difficult situation. Handsome's not making any moves to get a rocket on it, so it appears he probably doesn't have anything else at the moment. As the Tiger tank slowly is able to work their way back. Okay, we do have a GOAT airhead that's starting to land in here on this northern side, or on this southern side. But at this time, Handsome is floating right in front of it and should see it. Not quite sure what's going through Handsome's mind, as he most likely has seen this airhead land down. Probably knows that Foster's there. But as of right now, this airhead is still up for GOAT. Oh, it appears that the whole team, though, knows about it. So we might be about to witness a slaughter. But with that, it is taken out. Enemy garrison taken out. Foster taken out. And with that, the GOAT presence pushed all the way off of Mount Hialeah. Oh no. The 76 appears to have gotten an angle on this Tiger tank. And it has left Girl Rod here in a very bad situation. And he is now solo in the backside with 2 S.A.P. behind him. Just kind of dead in the water. So that is very unfortunate for GOAT, as it is just a matter of time before this 76 or this Tiger tank is going to go up. Taken out by the double stack of S.A.P. So good work on S.A.P.'s armor front though, to be able to get somebody back up and double stack those heavies. Because in a 30s or a 40s match, 35s match like this one is, those double stacks can be very, very deadly if they're able to maneuver and handle themselves as a team pair. So with this, GOAT currently only has 1 garrison up here on the front line, with 1 up here on the rail causeway backside. GOAT does have some type of have some element of containment when it comes to this section, but they are now forced to go across many open fields, which is just going to leave them very much exposed, as S.A.P. can slowly just whittle them away as they open up. So right now, you'd be really looking at trying to get your northern side to try to flank around, probably in the area of the railroad tracks. Focus on getting and having our south side just hold and not break, as S.A.P. most likely is going to be doing the same here, as they just slowly eat away at the GOAT side. S.A.P. starting to cap pressure here on the very front. Let's take a look and see if they were able to get a garrison here with S.A.P. and Shuma. Commander back here on the line. Politicar Poe and Sabbath just eliminating Ghost and his teammate there. Morpheo taking on Sabbath here. Live betting odds. giving the advantage to Morpheo as he is currently in the bush, and Sabbath does not appear to know that he is there. All right, those that took that bet, Morpheo does get the kill there. Well done, guys. Holding down his OP, allowing his squad to come in. So that is a big win on Morpheo's side. Very well done. Be able to hold that line. Harley unexpectedly coming up probably on the commander here. Let's zoom on in. Just see what's going through their eyes. And he is given a gift to Harley, who does take out the enemy commander. The S.A.P commander, Egshima, eliminated. Very well done, Harley. All right. So looking over this final point here, we do see that S.A.P is starting to get some cat pressure. Not cat pressure, but some cat presence on the northern side coming in, most likely from that road coming in from the top HQ spawn. So that northern flank is slowly degrading around G.O.A.T, with S.A.P having progress and pressure here on the side. So it's going to be really big for Nico and Pezatic here to be able to get up and win those gunfights to continue holding that front. S.A.P Bullet moving up here on the railroad track, but about to face a whole squad of G.O.A.T. He's taking the high road. And he is eliminated. Let's see, I might be using the wrong button. Nope, infantry lock on target. Yep, no, that's the one we want to see. So I guess we just will not be getting a front row perspective here as the G.O.A.T line slowly is being taken out. The garrison that was up here is put back up, but it was down for just a moment, and it's going to be 40 seconds before that garrison can get any spawn waves off of it. In the meantime, S.A.P has pushed very hard onto the south side and is controlling a good portion of this section here. But the G.O.A.T garrison spawn to the south was able to get up, so we'd be looking for Bundin and Gallo and Chris to try to push back up here and secure this gap in the line as Somoza is taken out. Lively is able to make their way off, but unfortunately from some strong crossfire from the gap that's been able to form here by Kingslayer, leaving that garrison completely open with no spawns on it likely for another 20-25 seconds. So that's going to leave Handsome and Elko here to be able to pop on up and see if they can take that out, which it looks like they are going to do, thereby eliminating that garrison and opening up a giant hole here for G.O.A.T on the backside. G.O.A.T able to get a spawn wave off here on the southern side, but Cosmos does appear to be looking in that direction. Nope. Cosmos is unaware of that garrison, but knows that people are there. Taking out Gallo. Nope, Gallo not falling yet. But oh, we just see through his eyes the oh no moment when he sees multiple guys coming around that side. Knowing that Gallo's there. Can he win the gunfights to stay alive? Let's look. Oh, and he is taken out. All right, so G.O.A.T's got to continue that pressure up and try to move back up and be able to get some cap pressure here as S.A.P is slowly closing in on this final point. Looking through the map, the only garrison here to the north just taken out from G.O.A.T. So that is going to be a difficult thing for them to continue to try to get bodies on. As of right now, there are still some supplies, so F Squad leader Pando right here and Foster need to be looking at trying to get the garrison up just wherever they can. Okay, now the G.O.A.T garrison to the south has been eliminated. So with that, G.O.A.T left garrisonless now that we've got two garrisons put up here. Okay, they were able to get some up here on the backside. Right along the back line, our squad was able to get it, and it should allow them to still get something up in hard cap as it should be right about that 200 meter mark. But S.A.P is slowly moving in just slowly but surely boxing out G.O.A.T. Starting to put that vice grip on. As all of G.O.A.T. has now been forced to spawn on the backside of the river, leaving a long trek to try to get back up into the point. Some key battles happening down here in the hard cap here as Sergeant Winco and Foster, or Captain Wicko, sorry, and Foster are currently the only guys here on the backside. As one OP goes down, the garrison still is up, but Foster is eliminated. Witcho is still the only person on hard cap, but the garrison that was placed is taken out. Wincho doing everything that they can to hold this pressure against the onslaught of S.A.P. that is moving up into the point. Got a desperation bombing run, a strafing run coming in from the G.O.A.T. forces, but it looks like the way that they're angled, unfortunately, they might not get too much pressure taken off of that point. Strafing run does get a couple, and the bombing run could actually end up helping as those S.A.P. forces have been able to push back. Oh, but it's going to miss this airhead that is popping in for S.A.P. This is going to be very deadly here if S.A.P. can continue to get this up, as this airhead is going to be supported by this 76. With an S.A.P. bombing run that's coming in. G.O.A.T. for the moment have gone back to securing and defending the point. Oh, but man, they need to get a garrison up. They need to get some. Okay, cool. Garrison is back up here on the hard cap here. That's going to be big. OPs are going to need to go up as well. But this airhead now is going to be live for S.A.P. Bullet able to make their way off of it. Let's see. Wait, never mind. The airhead not here at the moment. I probably just am not seeing it, so let's continue to see if this area does light up here in just a moment. Okay, for all intents and purposes, it appears that that airhead has been eliminated, so that's good work on G.O.A.T. to be able to get that taken care of, as Metal does make their way back there to clear it, make sure that it is safe. So that life was not given it wasn't given in vain, so very well done to get back there and try to make sure that area was clear to allow your team to push back up in here, so very well done. We have this G.O.A.T. Tiger tank back here just trying to handle themselves, using the spawn default medium as a shield, so good for them. But these are going to be some big battles in here. Oh, and the shot on the 76, the damage 76 misses, unfortunately. Is he going to be able to get another shot off here? Fortunately, that 76 has retreated or been able to find a hole that they are not able to get shot from. So with that, we need to start getting that rep up going. So that Tiger crew does look like they were able to get one of the 76s, so very well done on that Tiger crew. With the other 76 lurking here in the backside. Just a matter of time before they start having confrontations here as well, as that 76 most likely knows that that Tiger is injured. Good rocket coming in from DeCortez, but unfortunately just hitting tracks. Oh, wait, hang on, are we still getting our airhead? We had a big giant spawn wave off of here. I do not see for the life of me where that spawn was. Got an OP, but that was a heck of a lot more guys than just the OP could handle. Did they find a cheeky little airhead spot? Gonna have to lock that one away in the memory banks. We'll wait and see if anybody else spawns off of it, to see if we can get ideas of where that is. But G.O.A.T. currently is defending the point, but with lots of S.A.P. pushing in hard. as cap weight does go back in favor of S.A.P. here. Artie with a big hit to be able to preserve cap pressure. So we are teetering back and forth on this final point. G.O.A.T digging in their heels, doing everything they possibly can to prevent themselves from being pushed off of this point. We've got one shot here in the 76. One shot in the Tiger. There's one shot. Oh, and the Tiger gets eliminated by the 76. Good shooting by the S.A.P. 76 here to be able to take it out, as that now tilts cap pressure back in favor of S.A.P. here, and it's slowly ticking away as S.A.P. is holding their cap majority at the moment. G.O.A.T holding a large portion of the eastern side of hard cap, but S.A.P. is holding the south side. So this really is coming down to individual gunfights. Because pretty much with every shot that we see, every person that falls, we see the cap popping back and forth to each side. So every gunfight right here is essential. With Foster, Metal, Edmund, and Baker trying to hold everything they possibly can to prevent this middle cap point from falling. But gunfights are starting to be lost here on this backside. Good rockets coming in, but unfortunately not going to be able to do too much to the front side of the 76. As S.A.P. continues to hold cap pressure, Reinforce is down for G.O.A.T as they just try to flood bodies here into the point. But unfortunately at this point, they do not have enough cap pressure to hold that S.A.P. advance back. And with that, S.A.P. in the final seconds of the hard cap capture here. With a spawn off the garrison, it was not enough. S.A.P. comes away with the 5-0 victory on a very hard-fought match here. Let's go ahead and give Vegas here accommodation for the artillery shells that they are throwing out there. So, very back and forth on that final point. Got very exciting for us as we focused on each of those kills, watching that cap pressure go back and forth. But unfortunately, G.O.A.T was unable to just hold off that pressure as S.A.P. was able to find their way in and just handle and gain control over that final point. So a very good warm-up as we're moving into here to the TPL season from both these teams that are going to be participating. Hopefully both these teams can take their thoughts and the feedback that they've received from this match, be able to incorporate into their game plans to be able to help them on their way to that illustrious TPL trophy at the end of the season. So best of luck to both teams as they continue to move forward and prep and practice, and look forward to seeing both of you guys in the future. Thanks.